Hello everyone, JRDL96 here with a brand new reaction. As you can tell by the title, it's another Jacksepticeye video, and it's another one of those, I guess you could say Q&A type videos, but it's definitely not a Q&A, it's just another one of those, you know, types of videos where he just answers questions from people. And I saw on Twitter recently that he said, hey, ask me for advice. And I'm gonna try to respond horribly, hence the title of it, like giving you horrible advice or something like that. But I might as well just get right into it. So without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we?
What's up, gamers? It's me, Big Brain Man, here to give you terrible advice on life. I have a Spider-Man shirt on. I have my hat on backwards, and I'm a successful YouTuber, which means that I have life figured out. That means I have found some of the answers. What is it all about? It's this. This is what it's all about. This is the peak, apparently. So people out
you're
there,
in your prime.
You're so lost in life.
Metroid Prime.
You don't know where you're going. You don't know what you want out of life. You need advice on life. Then who better than
the Gaelic Gladiator over here?
I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to change it up a bit and get you guys to ask me about advice on things, because I've lived some.
Because I'm running out of
30.
video ideas.
I have some experience on some things, and it's boring to just do regular Q&As all the time. So
yes,
let's get advising. How to gamer. That's easy. You download Fortnite.
Oh God.
And you drop Tilted. Tilted isn't a thing in Fortnite anymore.
That was that thing in his hand.
I don't think it is. I think the volcano blew it up. But Fortnite's free, and that's the hip happening thing. Actually, you know what? Get Minecraft.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Minecraft now all of a sudden is re-emerged out of the dead.
So go play Minecraft, and you'll be an epic gamer. How to stop yourself from procrastinating / staying focused on projects. Oh, cool, Maddie draws. I can't even keep myself focused in one video. I probably won't even be able to keep myself focused in this video for the whole thing. I'll go off on tangents, and I won't even remember anything that I was talking about before. So I'm not
that sounds like me.
To be asking about this. There's a bunch of projects that I have on the horizon, and ones that I've been trying to do for like a year, and the only thing that's stopping me is me. So my advice is to ask somebody else. Rossatron is asking me, what's the one thing you think everyone does wrong and your way is better? Explain it. Alright, so you know those hand dryers? Stay with me. Oh, this floppy dick is coming your way.
What the fuck is that in your hand?
Hand dryers in bathrooms. I'm not talking about the ones that you go... Those ones are obnoxious as all hell. I'm talking about those sweet new little Dyson boys. Those ones that just have the air blades.
Oh, those. Yeah. I've seen those.
And on the top of it, it says 10 seconds, and it shows the arrows going up and down. Now, a lot of people seem to think that you put your hands into them and you go like this, and it's supposed to dry your hands. You do that for 10 seconds and it dries your hands. But no. What you want to do is stick your hands all the way down into them, and then for 10 seconds, pull your hands out slowly out of them until you reach your fingertips. And I guarantee you, after 10 seconds, your hands will be bone dry. They'll feel cold, they'll feel like they're still wet, but they'll be bone dry. And if they're not, then you're doing it wrong, and you're going to have to come back to me again. But I swear, I see so many people in there going, and then they leave and they're shaking their hands anyway. I'm like, you didn't even use it. It's the best hand dryer in the bathroom. Is that really the thing that I think I do better than everybody else? That's the hill I chose to die on. Oh, great Gaelic guru. I love that. I want to be called the Gaelic Guru from now on. Just call me that.
The love guru over here.
Give me your sacred advice on the subject of
cleaning my fucking mess of a house.
2 words. Petrol and lighter. Put those together and burn the mess out of your house. Don't burn your house down. That would be a terrible thing to happen. But just
sounds like that's kind of what it sounds like you're trying to tell them.
And burn some of your possessions as well. Just burn a chunk of the stuff that you own. Because that means that there's less clutter. And that means that less stuff can build up over time after that. So the less stuff you have, the less mess you can make. And if you're like eating like a chocolate bar, and you're getting ready to throw the wrapper away, and you don't know where to throw it, so you throw it on your dog, just eat it. Eat the fucking wrapper. and then that'll clean up the mess.
Throw it on
What's the
your
best
fucking
way
dog.
to come up with your ideas for charity streams? And is there any motivation you'd give to people who get disheartened because they feel like they can't do it as well as others, or get upset when they see others raising more money, for example? Well, first of all, there should be no comparing when it comes to charity efforts. If somebody raises $10 and that's what they can do, then nobody should compare it to somebody else who's able to raise like $1 million all at once. Because that's silly. Charity is charity. Doing a good deed is doing a good deed. It shouldn't be compared to one another. Once you start comparing charity work, then it loses the point of being charity work. Then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You should do the charity stuff because you're trying to do a good thing. If you want to raise $1,000 and you only end up raising $20, that's $20 that you've raised for a cause. Sure, it might not be a huge world-changing sum of money, but at least your heart's in the right place and you're trying to do the right thing. I see a lot of people out there who raise money for causes, which is great, but I also see a lot of people who raise money and then have to shine a light on themselves about how great they are for raising that amount of money. Like, being great and raising the money to be great is the sole reason for doing it, which is just wrong. I don't think that... It's still money raised, so it's a really weird double-edged sword where people feel like they can't criticize it, because it's like, well, they did raise a lot of money, but the way a lot of people do raise money, I don't know, kind of bothers me a small bit. I feel like if you want to do a good deed and you want to raise money for a good cause, you should just do it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to make a huge song and dance about how great you are for doing it. You can make a song and dance about what you're doing, because more eyeballs on the charity event means that more money can be potentially raised. And as for coming up with ideas for the charity streams, it's... A lot of the ideas that are in the streams are kind of the same things over and over again, because some of them really work. Some of the stuff that we do in the charity streams works for everybody, and it brings in a lot of donations. My number one goal for doing the charity streams is to figure out a way to incentivize people to donate more. Sometimes that's doing games, sometimes it's making a poll that people can donate to and boost the numbers of and everything. So any sort of little incentivization like that really works. And that's why the merch is a good way of doing it as well, because people get something for their donation too.
How about
a lot of people have a hard
update
time just parting with money, even if it's for a good cause.
Just update it, maybe.
I mean, I understand.
Constantly update it as
giving merch
well.
and stuff like
Every
that
month,
is also
if you
a great
want to
way
do
of
charity streams every
incentivizing
month,
people that they
at
get
least
something
update
for
it
their money,
with something
and the
new.
money is also going towards something else. How do I get my dick out of this toaster? How do you get bread out of a toaster? You wait. You sit there and you wait and you just let that bad wiener toast.
You wait for your dick to burn to a crisp.
Going, and you just wait, and
You
then
get a crispy
goes
dick.
your weasel, and then you have a beautiful toasty boy, and then you just spread some butter on that bad boy.
Oh
and
no.
dig in. How can I become the world's greatest drummer despite having no arms and no legs? Who ever said you needed arms and legs to drum? You can beatbox. You can mouth drum. Just like my boy Verbal Ace, who is killing it on beatboxing lately and went super viral on Instagram. He made this for us specifically, us in this laugh community. See? He's drumming away with his mouth. He doesn't need his arms and legs to do it.
Oh, good Lord, Jack. That laugh meme is just going now places.
Should I tell her?
Wait, what?
Now,
Oh
is she
my
just a
God.
whore? Or is she an apple whore? Because there's an apple on it, so they're a
The Apple
whore for
logo
apple
on it.
products. I'd say no. Don't tell her. She put on that shirt for that thing for a reason. So buy her a new Apple product. Decorating tips. I have this big fat empty wall in my kitchen. It looks really boring. What should I put there? I would get a giant mural of Thomas the Tank Engine smoking weed, and it would say Thomas
What
the
the
Tank
fuck?
Engine. Because anybody who's willing to put that on their walls means that nothing else in your life is going wrong. That means that you have
Why?
everything on lock. And if people come into your kitchen and they see that as they
They'll
sit
be
down
like,
and
what is wrong with you?
dive into a chicken tikka masala, whatever you're thinking, then they know that you have got it on lock. They know that you are confident. If you can put that on your wall, there's not shit that anybody can say to you. Then or mount like all the TVs you can in that space.
Put a TV
mount
on that.
as many TVs as you can on that wall.
Put a TV there.
And just have it playing like Fortnite streams in the background.
Oh, Jesus
And then you
Christ.
can open up your kitchen to everybody and call it like a stream bar. Just make money off your own kitchen. You take a lot of pride in your work ethic. How do you slow down? Oh, baby, you don't. You ride that treadmill straight into the fiery pits of hell until it consumes your soul and you're nothing more than a puzzle. At least that's how I used to deal with my channel and my work ethic, because nothing was greater to me than having 2 videos every day on time. Didn't matter what they were. It didn't matter how good they were. YouTube was just showing it to everybody anyway, apparently. It just needed to be content. But I ended up burning myself into a cinder into the ground and didn't enjoy my work at all anymore. So I'd suggest forced breaks, because if you're like me and you're a complete workaholic and you just feel like you have to work all the time, everything becomes part of your work, because if you do YouTube like this, then that's just the way it is. Everything, you are the content, you are the product, you are the brand. So technically everything you're doing,
I love that analogy,
is marketable material that you can put on your channel, on your Instagram, on your story, on your Twitter. Every thought is content, technically. Or at least that's the way most YouTubers' mentalities are, from what I've gathered. But for me, it was about taking forced breaks. So forcing yourself to not work. That, yes, I do 1 video a day now, and I can wake up and do that 1 video for
there's a spider
whatever
literally
day I
on
need it
top
for.
of my TV.
But then I'm like,
literally on top of my
I got
wall.
that one done early, so I can technically do like 2 more.
Good Lord.
But it's making myself go, no, stop. Stop working now. You got the video done. Put in a lot of effort into that 1 video,
going.
get it done, and then take the rest of the day for myself. To kind of just do whatever I want. Either go to the gym. I've been going to the gym for like an hour every day recently, and it's been great. It's an excuse to get out of the house. It's just good for you in general. It really gets your mood shifted and gets you going. But just getting out of the house, sitting down, doing something you enjoy. For this type of job, and Captain, I know you're a fellow YouTuber, so I'm using this as an example. YouTube is a very mentally intensive job. Any sort of computer desk job is, but YouTube especially, because your brain doesn't turn off from YouTube once the camera stops. Because you have to maintain your audience, you have to maintain your social medias, you have to maintain the channel. Most YouTubers are 1 man, 1 woman, 1 person shows, and you're running the whole business on your own, so it's very, very difficult to shut off. Because you can always be doing more, because that's the way the treadmill is.
Hold on, I'll be back in a second.
Faster,
Let me
and
take
you can
care of
always
somebody.
work harder to keep up with it. But that doesn't mean you always should. Go at your own pace. So for me, a good way of doing it is doing something physical, because I'm doing a lot of mental stuff here. Even sitting down to play video games is still something mental. Sitting down to watch TV
listening.
shows is still something very mental to do. So I like playing drums. It gets the physicality of my body going. Again, going to the gym, it's a good way to focus and do nothing else. I don't think about work at all when I'm at the gym or when I'm playing drums. It's just a good way of getting your body
Took care of that.
connected again. It's all about balance. When I went to therapy, they talked about like the balance in my life was completely off. 90% of my day was dedicated to work, and the other 10% was dedicated to less work. It wasn't dedicated to me, so now it's more.
Sorry about that. I had to take care of an
30% of my day is
I know. It probably was the
doing more, and I
Spider-Man.
could be boosting the channel into the stratosphere and doing all these different things to probably get the channel
Kind of sounds
to
like
different
how I want
places
to
and
be.
different heights, but I needed to dial
Like,
it
you don't
back,
want to burn yourself
get a better
completely out. You want
balance
to
in
take
my
some
life,
breaks here and
figure out
there.
what I want to do for myself, enjoy my own company,
Like,
enjoy
have
my
enough
own
free time
away
on
from my
your
work, and
own
become
personal
Sean
time, and your own free
for
time.
a good majority of my day, instead of making
Just
Sean
always
and
like
Jack
record a
on
bunch of
melody
videos in
beat
one day.
the way it was for a
and
long
put it
time,
all out.
giving over so much of myself to the audience and to the world and to the internet.
Sounds like me.
And now it's
pretty
nice to
much.
sit back and enjoy the new relationship that I'm in, and hang out with my girlfriend, and go to the movies, and go out and have coffee, and then go to the gym, and play drums, and then play some games for myself in my spare time. I played Metro Exodus completely on my
I thought you were going to say
own.
Metroid Prime. I'm like, I was just
Whatever
playing
it is you need to do.
I was decided
enjoy
just to
your own
replay it
time,
on the
even if
GameCube
that's
again.
Just sitting down and staring at trees outside. Please, for the absolute love of anything good, take care of your brains. You only have one of them.
You only have one.
You have to listen to it more than anybody else does. Make sure that what's going on up in here is sorted out first. Because what is going on in here and what you think about yourself matters way more than what anybody else in the entire world can say about you. So if you can get that in check and love and appreciate yourself first, I'm still working on it, we all are.
Yeah.
But
Same
if you
here.
can get to a good place in that way, then everything else becomes a lot easier. How to not be stupid?
I find it hilarious to go from something really serious to this. How to not be stupid.
Stupidity.
How to kill a spider.
nonsense a career. Also, there's nothing wrong with being stupid. I mean,
Oh my god.
I'm not talking about actual IQ levels. I'm talking about like goofiness kind of stupid. Just embrace that. Let it be
Just
part of your
embrace-
character.
Embrace your
Ignorance is
goofiness.
where the problem lies. Because ignorance is like
Look
if
at- look
you
at
don't
people
know
like
something
Mark.
and somebody else wants to
And hell, look
teach
at
you
Jack.
how it works.
Look how they embrace
but then
their,
you're
their
ignorant to it
goofy
and you
side.
don't want to learn. That's where the problem lies. Being stupid just means you might not know something, but a willingness to learn, I don't think, is actually stupid. How are you supposed to eat your banana? With or without the peel? You gotta eat that sucker with the peel.
No.
That's the most appealing part of the banana.
Oh,
That
Jesus.
beautiful yellow husk.
Appealing.
You gotta take that bad boy, flip it around, go ass first, go ass to face. I just get that crunch. Just get that crunch on. Eat it like that banana.
I just get that
in
crunch.
Sea of Thieves.
What
You
the
just
fuck?
gotta eat the whole thing, rind and all. That's where the nutrients
the
are.
fuck
That's
was
where you get the
that?
real good fiber. You don't want that weird, squishy, gooey mess that monkeys eat. No, you want that crunch. How to speak to women. The same way you speak to everybody. Women are people too.
Yeah.
Just go up to them and like you would.
I'm a
any
shy
other
person,
go up
so
and say,
I don't
"Hi,
know
hello,
how to be-
welcome. Be my friend!
Yeah,
I
I
need
know.
advice on girls and taxes.
Taxes.
Just pay both and the problem goes away.
Oh. What are they,
How to
prostitutes?
speak Japanese like an anime
character.
You gotta lose all regard
Nani?
for your throat. You gotta just
Shindeyu.
reach deep. You gotta hit that
Nani?
perfect guttural scream down there and say, how do you deal with hate from fans? Those fans that will love you 1 minute and then come at you for doing one thing
And
they
they
don't
do.
like. I am the worst at this.
Oh shit.
Because as much as I would like to say, like, oh, I don't really care what people think about me, I think most YouTubers care about what people think about them. You want stuff to go well. Most people in the world care what people think about them. If you honestly, legitimately don't care what people think about you, most people like that are sociopaths. I'm a people pleaser. I always have been. I am the youngest in a family that haven't always gotten along, still don't always get along, and have never really shared proper emotions. So I'm always of that mindset to try and fix things. I try and bring people together and make them happy and stop conflict. I'm a de-escalator. I have a caretaker mentality, as I've been told, and I've learned about myself. So that's why I was so eager to constantly make sure that everybody on the channel was happy. Everybody was doing good. Everything was catered to. I listened to all sorts of opinions and I catered absolutely all of my content towards what everybody wanted. And that's why it became such a whirlwind, because I catered to this group, then this group got mad. And then they were kind of happy, I catered to this group, they got happier, they got less happy, somebody over here then...
Yeah.
It was just taking
It's
too
hard
much
to
out of me.
really deal
So
with
I wasn't
that.
able to keep that going, completely burned myself out, so I had to take a step back. I had to stop giving over absolutely everything of myself to you guys, which sounds bad, but it just means that now I respect some boundaries. I respect some more of my privacy, and I keep some stuff for myself, so I'm able to disconnect myself when I have to, because before I couldn't. And then when people got upset about something that was happening on the channel, I took it very, very personally. A lot of times now I still do, and I react defensively about it because I still just want people to be happy. And even when I'm putting in my max effort, and then some people aren't, I get very upset about it. So I'm still working on that. I will say I've cared a lot less about some of the more trivial things. Like when somebody says something that's just completely untrue about me, and they want to say something to just completely hurt me and damage me, it usually says something more about them than it does about me. Honest, constructive criticism is something that's hard to come by, because most people just pretend it's criticism, but it's just wrapped in something else. It's wrapped in, oh, I've grown up, I don't like your stuff anymore, but I'm going to take you down with me. Or, you've changed, I don't like that, and instead of moving on from it, I'm just going to blame you. It still gets to me, and it still upsets me, because again, I have a lot of empathy for people, and I relate to people way too easily, and I do it a lot to the detriment of myself sometimes, so it's still a hard balancing act, but I've gotten a lot better at it. I've gotten a lot better at being able to close myself off and being like, you know what, no, you're wrong, stop. And then believing in my own opinion more, which 2 years ago I very much didn't value my own opinions. How to stop thinking that everyone is either looking at you or talking about you when you pass them. Here's the thing.
Again, with that stupid
in a
thing
social situation, and you're thinking, oh my god, everyone's looking at me. What do I do? You have to remember that everybody else is probably thinking the exact same thing. And no one gives a shit. People are too preoccupied with what's going on in their own lives and in their own heads to ever give a shit about what somebody else is doing in the room, when what you're doing is probably perfectly fine. You're probably just standing still looking around. You know what? It's arrogance! It's arrogance to think that people care enough about what we're doing that they're going to make fun of us for it. Honestly, people are just so worked up with what they're doing themselves. If they're walking on the streets or anything, they're going somewhere, they're doing something, their mind is wandering, they're elsewhere. They don't give a shit about what you're doing. Don't give over so much of your own mental brain power. Don't give over so much of your time and your mental wherewithal to other people. Don't get me wrong. Love deeply. Love people. And have fun. And share your mentality with people. But don't give it to them. Don't give them that power over you. As my dad used to always say, each person you meet on the street is a fresh face to punch. And I'll never forget that. All right, you little advice babies. I hope that you had a nice time watching this video. This was supposed to be a lot more jokey than I intended it to be. I said I was going to use my big fat gamer brain to give terrible advice on things, and then people actually ask me genuinely serious things. So what was I going to do? Make fun of it? I can't do that. Then everyone will think that I don't care. So let me know if you want me to do this again. If you want me to do it, hit a big old fat like on this video, and also leave some stuff in the comments that you want advice on. Make them silly. I want to give terrible advice on stuff. But that's going to be it for me. I have to go read some sick children to some books.
I gotta read some sick
and I have to
children.
go. There's a dog in a house fire that I need to save. So, adios, amigos. I'm going to blend out and blur out and peace out. Farewell.
Oh my god. Oh boy. So, the terrible advice he gave. Maybe it was great, I don't know. But, yeah, I got a little distracted because there was a spider crawling on my wall, and I just wanted to put it out of its misery. Take care of that before it gets worse, so that's why I had to run off for a second to take care of that. I apologize, but I kind of tried to listen to what he was trying to say, but he did mention about like not trying to burn yourself out completely. Take like forced breaks and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to me making YouTube videos, I try to be a little ahead with my video schedule here. I try to be a little ahead so I don't have to always be like almost at the edge of the deadline, like the day before the video is supposed to go up and stuff. I'm trying to not do that anymore because I always want to have a lot of free time for myself, and I don't want to have like things on my mind like I have to get this shit done, I gotta get this done, I gotta get this done. Like, you know what I mean? It's, I might as well do it and get it over with and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about it later on. Like, hence, like, you know, if I have to make a big video, like, hence, like a Q&A or an ego-related video, I try to put out a bunch of videos ahead of time and then have enough time to work on it. That's what I try to do. And most times it works, sometimes it doesn't work, you know, stuff like that. Speaking of projects, Jack mentioned, like, again, because he is a procrastinating machine, he said that he's been having projects that there's projects on the horizon, and there's been a project that he's been trying to do for the last year, and it's just because of him being a procrastinating dick. So does that mean ego-related stuff? Probably. Maybe. Probably not. But it would be nice if it actually turns out to be the ego-related stuff that he has, because it's way overdue. Way overdue. Now, as of right now, and by the time you see this video, it's July 25th. Right now I'm recording this on July 20th, and I probably mentioned to you a couple times that, again, speaking with the charity merch, the charity streams and stuff, I've always felt that Jack always needs to like update his merch store when it comes to like charity streams. He needs to update it more often, like, and not like every 2-3 months, because I think it would be interesting if he would add more like merch ideas in his store. Like, I was thinking, I've been saying this for many months now. What's wrong with doing PMA pajamas or pajorts? Like, what's wrong with doing that? What's wrong with doing a PMA snapback? Like, the same kind of hat like Chase's hat. That kind of a hat. PMA, like, dog collars or something like that. Well, PMA socks. And anti-socks. Like, anti-socks or a laugh t-shirt. Who would not buy a shirt of Jack smacking the whiteboard going, laugh? Like, who would not buy that? Hell, I would. Or the it's meme time, the only cure for sadness. Meme time. Memes, the only cure for sadness. Or stuff like that. Speaking of laugh, I mentioned earlier that, mentioned before in the previous video, that I was kind of annoyed at the way that they've been handling the whole charity, the laugh pin and the shipping of it, because I haven't gotten an update at the time of when it would ship. Up until Tuesday. So that would be, it would be probably early this week. I think the 17th or the 16th. I'm not exactly sure. One of those days. I think it was the 16th. On the 16th of July, I got an email finally saying that it shipped. So hopefully it will be here soon. Probably, you probably won't see it until near the end of the month, because I got a lot of other videos to record and stuff like that. And probably by the time that video gets shipped, the Pride Month stuff will be shipped as well, maybe. And then I also have that other shirt that I won in a giveaway from a YouTuber that I heavily inspired to create stuff. Summer Rains, I've mentioned this before. You know, the person who makes the better ego-related content than I do. and I mentioned that I entered in a T-shirt giveaway, and ironically enough, I think it was the day after I recorded that video, I get selected for the shirt. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. And I find it hilarious. I just kind of find that funny. But overall, yeah, that's some stuff to look forward to in terms of unboxing stuff. But hopefully, I'm hoping that the Pride Month stuff don't take as long as this one did, as the last one does, because it's so funny that the laugh pin was back in May, and it's almost August. It's near the end of July, for crying out loud. It's insane how far. And now probably the next charity stream is probably coming up right now. Probably. God knows what the pin is like this month or whatever. But by the way, when the fuck is this Matarat's gonna dye his hair green? Didn't he make a promise if he raised over 100K during the charity stream last month that he would be dyeing his hair green again? Yeah, I know that he's been busy lately. I get it. Now he's home. He's home now. He's back from VidCon. He's back from doing everything else. He's back from doing all that. So now he's got the time. Now he's just got to do it. He's got to execute it. Speaking of VidCon, Editing is Everything was one of the featured creators there. And the craziest thing was that happened, I think, on Tuesday, like we found out on Tuesday, this past Tuesday at the time I'm recording this video, she got engaged. So, Danny, congratulations on the engagement. I'm very happy for you. Anyways, enough rambling from me, but to be honest, if I would be the one that would be giving advice, I don't think I would be the best the best person to ask. I'm not the greatest advice person in the world. I think it's evident with some of the Q&A videos, with some stuff. I think it's pretty evident there, but I try as best as I can to answer that without sounding like a dummy. But seriously, when it comes to hate, just ignore it. Like, if somebody's trying to hate on you, ignore them completely, because they just want the attention from you. They want you to give them the attention. They want the attention. If they see that you're paying attention to what they're saying, that just fuels them. So, if you completely ignore them, then they wouldn't give a fuck. And then they would just stop. They'll probably eventually give up because they're not getting attention. I've dealt with it. Trust me, I've dealt with hate. It's not the nicest thing in the world. It's not the greatest thing in the world. But what are you going to do? Just people have no time. Just have a lot of time on their hands, and they just rather decide to make people's lives miserable. And that's their best way of getting a kick out of life. And stuff like that. Which is unfortunate bullshit. Anyways, I think that's it for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure also to check out my Instagram because I make cool ads of Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even myself. I also do reenactments and cosplays on there, so go check it out. Be sure also to check out my Tumblr, it's in the description as well. And by the way, I'm probably going to be 100% wrong on this, but probably by the time you see this, I probably would have hit over 1,200 subscribers by now. So if that is the case, thank you guys so much for 1,200 subscribers. That is unbelievable. That is just insane. I'm probably going to be 100% wrong. It's probably like 1199 or some shit by the time you see it. By the time you see this. Which would be hilarious. And everybody would be like, oh, you're 100% wrong. Well, if I have to make videos, that's the issue I have when I make videos ahead of time. Because you don't know, because you'll get a bunch of videos that people put up, like Mark puts up a try not to laugh challenge, or Jack puts something crazy up, and you want to put that up instantly. That kind of throws a lot of bullshit into the mix, and it just kind of fucks up with the whole schedule. Anyways, that's it. So until next time, JRDL96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!